Prime Minister Mark Carney pulled off a successful performance hosting the G7 summit in Kananaskis, Alberta. That's according to some world leaders and foreign policy experts. Joining us now with some reaction to how it all went is Sean MacDonald, instructor at the Business Administration Department at the Asper School of Business. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the G7 wrapped up last night in Kananaskis. How do you think it went?
Oh, well, if I'm using my university job, I'd give them a B. On the one hand, the expectations were pretty low coming in. This is a group that operates on consensus, so to really advance with bold initiatives is most unlikely. They came away with some general action statements about critical minerals, about AI, about wildfires, so that's good. On the other hand, well, for half of it, it was really the G6, because the major player, the United States, wasn't there. So we missed a lot of opportunities to involve anything more significant. And on the other hand, we don't, in operating by consensus, we can't really have big multilateral expectations. What we do have is some bilateral work. So we made advancements. We made advancements with the United States. The United States had a deal with Britain on several issues. We also made some initiatives with the Ukraine and commitments there. So not a total failure. You know, it's kind of like in a dysfunctional family, which this is at times. If you can get through it with everybody still speaking with each other at the end of dinner, let's call it a small win.
So a B. But U.S. President Trump, as you mentioned, he did leave early. How did Prime Minister Mark Carney do during his short meeting with Trump in that short period of time?
Oh, well, fine. He has a few things going for him. Number one, he has an affinity. He's very similar to Donald Trump. He's less liberal than his predecessor. He's less woke than his predecessor. He's less handsome than his predecessor. And all of that probably situates him in a good place. He didn't offend. We didn't hear any of this, I guess, enraging 51st state type of stuff. And they got a commitment to keep talking. The reality is, though, at this moment where we speak, there's still 50% tariff on aluminum and steel. There's 25% tariff on anything that is not in the USMCA. And there's 10% on things that are in the US Mexico trade agreements. So we got a long way to go. But to agree to accelerate things, I would say, again, optimistic. One disclaimer, and that is Donald Trump, A, really likes tariffs, and B, is not restrained by any political or ethical principles, and he could change his mind at any time. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but I'd say trending positively, but certainly not an absolute win.
Any slip-ups, do you think, or things that could have been a little bit better other than the points you just brought up?
Not really. The expectations were low. I'll add this one. There was a lot of controversy, maybe some viewed as a slip-up, to invite Prime Minister Modi from India. I think that Prime Minister Carney was pressured quite some deal to invite Prime Minister Modi simply because this is the largest populated country in the world, and we can't pretend that they're not there. So that, by some, might have been a slip-up to have the Prime Minister of India there. I would say on balance and pragmatically, it probably was the right call.